But history had other plans. This February, KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates the dreamers, the doers, and the breakthrough makers of Black History Month. Your station, your stories. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey Zoe, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
May I start? You know, I like to, if I may, go over something which I think is important for you to get the whole picture of what is happening with the K Foundation in England, in India, in America. I'd like you to see the picture of it first, and then we'll go into the details and the intent that lies behind this. I think it was in 1920, in the 20s anyhow, early 20s. That's 50 years ago. I was told by Dr. Besant, she said, now you come on the scene, now you take charge of the schools in India. You should know something, little bit about it. Don't be bored by it. And there were many, many schools, I think 20 schools, perhaps less, I don't remember. But anyhow, I said, there are too many, they can't be looked after properly. So I said, let's have only 2 schools, one in the north and one in the south. And I helped to find the places in Benares, outside Benares, and in outside about 170 miles northwest of Madras. We hadn't money. We hadn't a thing, but we started it. I was there. We went to bed with the sun and got up with the sun. There was no electricity. There was one well, and we did everything. And it has prospered. In a sense, these two schools in the north have become very well known in India. And the lands have become extraordinarily valuable, literally probably in millions. And
So, welcome to the Voice of Reason on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm your host, curator of these conversations, and the reason why I'm playing that clip of J. Krishnamurti talking about the K Foundation that he established before he died and the subsequent schools that were built. He had a curriculum and an education platform that was designed to integrate the total self. The child, the student, the pupil was the utmost important aspect of the curriculum, meaning it wasn't just about standardized testing. It wasn't about the repetition of creating a particular benchmark. It was more about self-discovery. And some of those schools actually still exist here in the States. I think Ojai possibly. Why is that important? So the brother Krishnamurti, the brother K, said that the profound thing that I'm always saying, which is, it is no measure of health to be profoundly integrated into a sick society. And one of the concepts that emerges consistently is, it's not that deep. See, wherever there are transactional relationships, it stands to reason that there will be superficial relationships. I think transactionalism and superficiality go hand in hand. I think they're twin flames, right? Again, we have this broken concept of what relationship is. It's not, we've made it about getting what we need from our partner, but it's really about cultivating what you need within yourself by overcoming your internal demons, dragons, shadows, and the like. Tonight's topic, it's not that deep. Is your sanity keeping you single in an insane world? I just posted a quote. There was a meme or whatever on my Instagram page, and it's a young rapper, I believe. She calls herself Young Asian or Asian. I forgot. But what she basically said is the dude that interests her, the man that she's interested in, has to have 3 bodies. Now, that colloquialism just simply means he had to have killed 3 people. Asian Doll is her name. Well, you can see the self-hate right off top. You're a black woman, and you know nothing about genes, right? You know nothing about how the Asians, people who are Asian, descend from Africans. So you think because slanted eyes, the phenotype, is on a black woman that you're an Asian doll. The word Asian comes from the Arabic word Alzia, which just means east. This is where we get the word oriental, to orient oneself to the east. Yeah. But you think it's Asian, which is separate from you. But that's neither here nor there. The really dangerous part was the guy has to have 3 bodies in order for him to be considered a catch. Basically, he has to be a murderer. So now, roll back the Krishnamurti and listen. It is no measure of health to be fully, right, integrated, adapted into a sick society. You hear people saying it all the time. It's a mantra now. It's not that deep. Relationships aren't hard. You hear people say that all the time. Anything that deals with this, a spiritual crucible, that's what relationship is. It is a spiritual crucible. It is going to send you through the fire. And many people just don't seem to understand that. They think they can brat their way into getting their way. They think they can complain, manipulate, gaslight, stonewall, be dismissive, be violent, be disrespectful, be condescending to get their, to get their way. And that's just not how it works. These shows are designed to make you uncomfortable. They're not designed to entertain you. They're not designed to make you laugh, although sometimes I can be a little funny. They're designed to disturb you at a core level. I want you disturbed. I don't want you to be able to sleep tonight. And the reason being is because of this misunderstanding of what relationship actually is. It is that deep. I'm so tired of people running away from life's tough questions. That's why you incarnated here on planet Earth, to provide answers. We're all here to provide answers. It's a collective continuum of intellect that is supposed to experience this plane of existence and manifest an answer for all of us. But no, we've fallen in love with the illusion. Oh, it's not that deep. I understand that this steak is not real. I don't want to remember nothing. Nothing. Just implant my body back into the power plant, and I want to be somebody important. This is Cypher from The Matrix. That was his famous line. Cypher, Lucifer. He was the rebellious one in the crew that rebelled against Neo. Neo backwards is one, the one. Neo, of course, our guy John Wick, what's the Keanu Reeves, plays the Christ figure in The Matrix. Cypher, Lucifer, but also Judas betrays Neo, right? I want to be somebody important, maybe a music executive or something like that. It is that deep. Is conformity a compromise? To what extent does modern society's insistence on being well adjusted to a state often lauded as mental health act as a mechanism of internal compromise? Right? Suppressing authentic self-expression, as Krishnamurti warned. And what do contemporary studies on conformity reveal about its impact on self-integrity? What does the extent of modern society's insistence on being well-adjusted? Why must I be well-adjusted to a toxic society? Which is, it's crazy to me, right? Our normal is not really normal, right? How does Carl Jung's concept of the collective shadow manifest in today's toxic social structures? And can empirical research on societal influence and group behavior substantiate the claim that the internalization of toxic norms lead to widespread interpersonal dysfunction? Superficial connections versus deep authenticity. I don't think people want deep authenticity because deep authenticity is self-revelatory. In other words, it reveals you to you, and that's an ugly thing when you've been suppressing you this whole time. Many people can keep up an act for as long as they're getting paid for it, right? We are paid actors in our relationships. The wounds have needs, i.e. supply, and we will continue to put the clown makeup on and perform spirituality, perform nurturing, perform empathy, perform closeness, perform porn. We'll perform it all in order to keep those wounds somewhat quiet. But the reality of it is we're missing the point of why we relate in the first place. You're relating to destroy yourself. Did you hear what I said? You're relating to destroy yourself. In an era dominated by and curated by social media personas and fleeting interactions, does the pressure to maintain an idealized external image erode our capacity for deep self-awareness and genuine connection? As empirical research on self-esteem and digital behavior might suggest. Is sanity a byproduct of inner rebellion? You can't consider yourself sane, true or false? Agree or disagree? You can't consider yourself sane unless there has been an inner rebellion, an inner coup, an inner civil war. Right? You think your partner is going to make it all better when they show up, right? 1-800-920-1580. It is that deep. I'm tired of the superficials running around. Sounds like the Expendables. The superficials. He got to pay all my bills, and I get to put my money in a bank account, and we can use my money for trips. If I'm going to spend this money, she got to cook. She got to know how to cook. She got to know how to clean. She got to know how to band. You got to wrap my wounds up. If I get sick, you got to change my diaper. Do you understand? This is what relationship has become. Can the courageous act of confronting one's inner demons, a process advocated by both Jung and Krishnamurti, be empirically linked to healthier interpersonal outcomes, or does societal pressure to conform negate the benefits of such radical self-exploration? You don't get to hide from yourself in a relationship with me. I'm going to tell on you. I'm going to snitch to yourself. I'm going to say she's right here hiding behind me. Come get her. She's right here. The phone lines are cracking when we come forward, man. I'm going to talk to everybody. Let's get it.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
They can do anything they want to us. We might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips, I am a revolutionary.
On Saturday, February 22nd, you are invited to A Night with the Panthers, a special fundraiser dedicated to supporting Black Panther veterans who now require assistance with essential needs such as medicine, food, and housing. These Black Panther veterans championed human rights, fed the hungry, educated the community, and stood as powerful symbols of resistance and resilience. Despite their incredible sacrifices, loving and serving the people did not come with retirement plans or financial security. So, now it's our time to honor their legacy and ensure that they are cared for with the dignity they deserve. You can help by attending and supporting A Night with the Panthers, Saturday, February 22nd, 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Project 43 Team Post Center, 6841 Crenshaw Boulevard, Los Angeles. For more information, contact Black Panther Party Breakfast at gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. That's Black Panther Party Breakfast at gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Now Taxes is 100% free when you file in the TurboTax app if you didn't file with us last year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just do your own taxes in the app by 2/18.
What if I have lots of forms?
All good, all 100% free.
What if I had 3 jobs?
Still 100% free.
What if I once saw Bigfoot?
That has nothing to do with taxes, so still 100% free.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Now this is Taxes. See if you qualify in the TurboTax app. Excludes TurboTax Live, must start and file in app by 2/18.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
A different kind of criticism, but one that's just as provocative, has been leveled by David Rosenhan of Stanford University.
Between 1969 and 1972, a group of colleagues and I gained admission to psychiatric hospitals by faking a single symptom, which was that we said that we heard voices, and the voices said, empty, dull, thud. The moment we were admitted to the hospital, we abandoned our symptom, and we behaved the way we usually behave. The question was, would anyone detect that we were sane? The answer was, no. No one ever did. Admitted with the diagnosis in the main of paranoid schizophrenia, we were discharged with the diagnosis of paranoid schizophrenia in remission. Now, in remission doesn't mean quite the same thing as sane. The term we use to describe the experience is dehumanized. Nobody talks to you. Nobody has any contact with you. The average contact of patients with staff was about 6.5 minutes a day. Nobody comes to visit. The first time I was in a psychiatric hospital, on an admissions ward with 41 men, my wife constituted 4 of the 7 visitors on a weekend. Psychiatric hospitals are storehouses for people in society whom you really don't want, whom you really don't understand, and for whom you've lost a great deal of sympathy. Staff need constantly to be reminded, and it's very hard to remind them. They are, after all, doing their best on the front end. But they need constantly to be reminded that the people who are their charges are not merely collections of symptoms. They are people with spouses, with children, with parents, with jobs, with mortgages and bills to pay, that they are, in the fullest sense of the word, very human and very unhappy.
Listen, Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. I'm not here to pathologize anything. When I say that, I'm speaking specifically to having an easier time in relationships. I know everybody just wants to be happy. I'm not trying to make that pursuit abnormal or unhealthy, psychologically speaking. But the flip side also happens. We try to give everybody a participation award for peeking at themselves. Oh, good job. You looked in on yourself. No. Get in there and get dirty with yourself. Right? Because the more you resist, the more the problem persists. Right? Again, relationships ain't that deep. Yes, they are. We've already outlined it. We're attracted to trauma. Attachment equals suffering. We already know. Trauma bonding in a chaotic culture, in a toxic culture. How does empirical research on trauma bonding and neuroticism challenge the assumption that a sound mind automatically translates to secure within intimate relationships? And what role does societal instability play in reinforcing these maladaptive relational patterns? We had a brother call in, Eric, you should call back, brother, from Carson. He said, I don't need therapy. Everybody been through something. And if you give me time and you're willing to be transparent and open up and let me peel those layers back, we will see. Right? I'm not trying to call him out. I'm just simply saying a lot of us, man, we struggle with facing the work. Right? It's not that deep, man. I'm just here for a good time, not a long time. You feel me? And I'm not trying to pathologize. I'm not trying to say that that's a bad thing. I'm saying that is recess, relationship recess. At some point after recess is over, you got to come back into the classroom. When we come forward, I'm going to the phone lines.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. 54-year-old producer Irv Gotti has died after suffering a stroke. This follows a minor stroke he suffered in August. The legendary producer co-founded Murder Inc. Records in 1998 and played a key role in launching the careers of Ja Rule, Lloyd, and Ashanti. The Midwest and Northeast are facing a winter storm today, bringing snow, ice, and travel disruptions to cities like Chicago, Cleveland, Philly, and D.C. Conditions may last through tomorrow. Black New York City Mayor Eric Adams says he is feeling better after a health scare last week. Doctors are urging him to focus on his health after gaining 25 pounds. Adams plans to return to a plant-based diet. And the NFL is replacing the End Racism End Zone message at the big game with a new message, Choose Love. Despite national attacks on DEI policies, the NFL says it will continue its initiatives. I'm Amber Payton on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
Running out of hot water? Water Heaters Only makes replacing your water heater easy. With one call and great pricing, Water Heaters Only can have you back in hot water the same day, within hours of your call. Visit waterheatersonly.com. That's waterheatersonly.com.
KBLA Talk 1580 stands with you neighbor to neighbor, bringing you resources and what you need to know. For up-to-the-minute info on distribution hubs, help, and volunteer opportunities in the Altadena area, please visit Neighborhood Servants or Pasadena Community Coalition on Instagram. The Wild Seed Collective is offering free grant workshops to businesses impacted by the LA wildfires. Find them at wildseedcollective.com. Fuller's Psychological and Family Services is offering 12 free therapy sessions to people impacted by the fires who are unable to access care. Contact Executive Director Dr. Ted Koss at tedkoss@fuller.edu. Grief and Hope, the LA Art World Mutual Aid Relief administered by The Brick, is offering help to artists impacted by the blazes. Info is available at the/brick.org. On Instagram, Mutual Aid LAN is updating a Google Sheet in real time with locations, verified GoFundMe sites, and current resources. If you haven't done so yet, it's still a good idea to sign up for Notify LA on your phone for fire alerts and updates. Praying, advocating, and standing with you. KBLA Talk 1580.
To the 100 million people who owe the IRS money, this message is for you. We've helped tens of thousands of people close the door on their tax debt. So if you feel like you're stuck in a hole with IRS tax debt, then this is the easiest way to get a resolution quickly. To qualify for a no-pay or low-pay resolution, visit taxclosure.org to get free from the IRS once and for all.
To keep your bank accounts, income, and assets secure, tax closure is your same-day cure.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting rules for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door.
How do I get started with Zelfie?
Just send them a text.
Text BEST to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text BEST to 200-300 right now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text BEST to 200-300. That's BEST to 200-300. BEST to 200-300.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-511-2112. That's 800-511-2112. 800-511-2112.
What you want to do, huh?
KBLA Talk 1580 is thrilled to share that we have been named as a semi-finalist for the coveted American Climate Leadership Awards, honoring our climate work last year. We're also delighted to announce year 2 of our Climate Justice Crusade. This year's $2 million 12-month campaign will link and combat the relationship between climate change and poor health outcomes for African Americans and the poor. Climate inequities have taken a toll with multiple health triggers in the Black community, such as extreme heat and poor air quality, made worse by the recent wildfires. Our work to ensure climate justice and climate equity continues. In the coming weeks and months, you'll be hearing a lot more about our 2025 climate campaign. To learn more about our plans for this year and the companies and organizations supporting us, log on to our website at kbla1580.com. Caring about the climate, caring about the community, changing the conversation. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Feeling of emptiness is a side effect of early trauma. And it's very common for adults who were abused and neglected as kids, even when they are now in a loving relationship, to feel like the love just can't reach them. Or like there's a giant barrier to really being close to another person and really committing to them. Have you had that experience when you feel unhappy in a relationship that seems for every reason like it ought to feel good? It can be hard to tell whether you're just stalling from an inevitable breakup or whether you're screwing up a good thing and you're going to end up leaving and regretting it for the rest of your life. So I got this letter recently from someone I'll call Sam. And Sam says, all right, hi Anna. I've been with my girlfriend about 2.5 years and we've lived together for about the last 2. We both have trauma in our past, and she has ADHD, depression, and chronic illnesses that often keep her down emotionally and physically. She does a lot for me and truly tries her best to be a support in every way she can. From the outside, our close friends and family think we have a very stable and loving relationship. In many ways, that's true. However, I have felt like something is missing over the past 1.5 years. So 2.5 years together, 1.5 years feeling like something's missing, that's a big chunk. No matter how hard I work on my own therapy and hearing, I just want to escape myself sometimes. How common is it for someone with CPTSD in a healthy relationship to struggle with feeling fulfilled or wanting to escape? There are moments when I feel very certain about our relationship and our future, but then those feelings are replaced with dread and anxiety, and things just feel wrong. It's often a flux back and forth from any sense of certainty, and it's a real drain. I know I am a more avoidant type generally, but I do struggle with being a people pleaser in some situations, and it's possible that I have confused romantic love with care and obligation. I am one of the older kids in a very big family who was also my mother's emotional crutch, so I can...
Man, the crappy childhood fairy, she be cooking with the rarest grease. It is that deep, though. Man, I'm so I was about to say something terrible. I'm so sick of narrow-minded folk. If it doesn't align with the way you see things, it has little to no importance. But it is deep. Relationships are deep. It's a spiritual classroom, right? Listen, what she just described was happiness remorse. You've heard of buyer's remorse. See, if you've conditioned yourself to see toxicity, right, as your norm, right? Reverse pathologized. That's my norm, toxicity. I'm with it. Then when somebody comes along that is of a particular vibration that is opposite of yours, trying to get you to elevate upward, and not by force and not, these are not commands or anything like that, but just by their very presence, you see that as an attack on your norm. The price of external validation. Is the modern obsession with external validation propelled by consumerist and media-driven narratives a significant contributor to intrapersonal insecurity? And how do studies on self-compassion and attachment theory inform strategies to counteract this trend? It is this deep, y'all. I know you don't have these conversations often. We just did a relationship roundtable over the weekend, last weekend, at the Cigar Lounge in Inglewood, Drobe Stogies. Shout out to Drobe Stogies. And we had about 5 clinicians on the panel. And it was groundbreaking because 90% of the audience were men. And they were tapped in, right? They were tapped in. The men and the women have been talking about this roundtable the whole time. Why didn't you record it? This should be out. Again, wherever I hold these conversations, they are designed to crack you open. That's it. If you're not cracked open, you're just operating at the intellectual level. Be honest. Look at your relationship right now. Is it on autopilot because you refuse to look at you? Because if once you see you, really see you, there's a responsibility there to tap in, to embrace, to acknowledge, to nurture, to be self-compassionate. Do you have the capacity to love yourself? Jerry from Beverly Hills, get in here. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
When you're talking about the psych wards, I saw Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys playing the piano in the psych wards.
Really? From the Beach Boys, the group?
Yeah, no, he was a patient in the psych ward.
But is this the Brian from the Beach Boys, the
Right,
group?
yes.
Yes, exactly. Wow.
And I was a patient myself, but at the aftermath of being spiked with aftermath of being spiked by ex-friends, a dangerous drug.
Wow.
It wasn't my doing.
Well, you know what, Jerry? I can say this, my friend. You've been listening to the voice of reason ever since I came on 3 years ago. And you've always called in, and I've always made a space for you. And I appreciate you for calling in.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Jerry, you brought Beverly Hills in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. We got time? Come on in here, Mountain View. John, Passa John, what are your thoughts, man?
Okay. To Attila, first and foremost, after reading the subject, you know our secret word we can't say to each other. Yeah, I said it twice. But nonetheless, today's topic, if it's not that deep, then why would I be anxious to ask the question to my ex-wife, do I still owe you anything?
Do you feel like you need
If
to
it's
ask
not
her that? That's heavy.
I mean, truthfully speaking, if we as men actually understood ourselves the way that we're supposed to understand ourselves, the actual feminine that kind of challenges you to it, it's not really a challenge. It's an upgrade. It's a building. So again, if we're looking at it like, why are you always in my business? Why are you always in my business telling me what thus saith and this, that, and the third? Don't you know she's trying to align you and keep you on your purpose?
By pressuring you, by testing the fences, the security, the gates.
And you can't take that. You can take that, and I say this specifically and ultimately, as men, don't we cuss each other out when it comes to us trying to doggone improve ourselves and make this certain point of focus?
Right.
We do it all the time as a drill sergeant.
Right.
We do it all the time as leaders in the Army.
Right.
We do it all the time when we're at the gym. Get that weight up. We do it all the time. So why can't you understand that when a woman does it? But it ain't that deep.
Go deeper. Please, go deeper. It's that deep. They can't hear it from a woman. Why can't they hear it from a woman? Why can't we hear it from a woman?
Well, first and foremost, for us to know ourselves as men, women also need to know themselves as women. I'm not going to bat with Oprah Winfrey because, again, I still want an apology from that woman, though. You are not going to tell me you don't need me, and it spanned a generation of 50 years telling me you don't need me, and yet at the same time, who you with? I think his name is Stedman. Quit playing. If you know who you are and you know the purpose of the man that you have with you, not just because you chose it, because everybody's a work in progress, you're not going to get perfection.
Wow. But you know what it is? And I think smart people understand, like, okay, we're not going to get perfection, but I need as much as I can get for myself in order to tolerate a certain level of imperfection. Do you agree or disagree with that?
How many times do you tell yourself in the morning you love you?
For a lot of people, that's not a common practice.
Start doing it. It will change your entire spectrum of what you look at.
Wow. But see, you're going back to the point that I make on a daily basis. The most important relationship is the one with yourself. And if you give yourself everything that you require your partner give you, you'll find that that is no longer on your list of expectations for your significant other. If you're giving yourself self-approval, self-acknowledgement, self-validation, all of the self-esteem, self-worth, self-acceptance, all of that. If you're giving yourself that, then what do you really have to ask of your partner? Stay right there. When we come forward, I'm going back to Mountain View, Hawaii to talk to my brother, Pastor John. He's in the pulpit.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This sandwich is not just spicy, it's flavorful. Hi, this is Patayo. And this is Elsa. And a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich is that spicy kick. Because the spice comes in at just the right moment. Oh, no. A little thing I love is that cilantro lime sauce. It's a fun blend of zesty and bold. That's what really makes me happy. Are you going to eat all your fries?
Order a Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich and a Diet Dr. Pepper on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh, feels so good to be back again. I've been thinking about time. I've been thinking about space. I know I might sound crazy, but I'm trying to get down in a real good space. I just wanna be safe. I just wanna feel good every morning, every single damn morning that I wake. I've been looking for a place where the sun shines all the time. Good loving in my soul's what I crave. I ain't worried about the hate. Last year was a good year for you, girl. I've been keeping up with the pace. So don't be coming with the bull. Had a good year, now it's time to see my face. I ain't worried about the fate. Kinda over all the hard times I've been through. Love brought me to, and I finally feel loose. My heart I choose. My heart been broke down in the dirt, and I finally see blue. Raised hands feel focused, and I'm done being broken. Talking about love, real love. You the only thing that get me up. I'm high. Got me so far up that I could fly. Watch me fly. Keep me high in your blue sky. It's about damn time. I just wanna be high.
You guys, I am so excited to welcome Ross Rosenberg back to the Terry Cole Show. He is a frequent flyer of the Terry Cole Show. We love his work. I just told you all about him at the top, so you know all the things. And many of you, I know, listened to and watched our last interview together, and it was more like a marathon talk, is what we did last time. But there's always so much, Ross, for us to talk about. So I wanted to just say thank you for coming back and welcome.
Oh, it's my treat. One of my favorite moments of any type of YouTube or a podcast is talking with you. Feels like we're on the same page in so many topics, and I can't wait for this topic.
Yes. Our obsession with codependency is one of those topics, for sure. So I was diving deep into your YouTube channel, which of course I've been to many times before, but for this, because we were going to be doing this, and I'm like, what are people talking about? What are people in your world wanting to know about? 1 second as I light my candle. And so the first thing that came up that I thought was great, and I've thought about this before, but never exactly in this way. So let's talk, if we can, a little bit, start with talking about narcissists, codependence, and induced conversations.
Okay, well, so narcissists are not very nice people that we know that, and codependence, I kind of renamed that to what I call self-love deficit disorder, self-love deficient, because the reason they get caught in these relationships with narcissists through what I call the human magnet syndrome is that at the very core is this self-love deficit, this core shame, and that bonds them to people that feed off of that. And that's the best I can do with such a broad terms, but I know you'll get me. But with regard to induced conversation, one of the things that I did with all three of my books, one of which will be published soon, and I'll talk about that later.
Yes, please.
Is I set out a very, very clear explanation for what actually is this codependency thing that I would call self-love deficit disorder, or SLDD, and what is pathological narcissism, because we got thousands of people on YouTube and podcasts giving their opinion on narcissism, and it's not always right. It's not always correct, and even when it is correct, the point of view is still.
Of course, that is none other than Ross Rosenberg, author of The Human Magnet Syndrome. And again, haven't you heard it before? Andy, haven't you heard it before? It ain't that deep. It's not that deep. Like, you tripping. Like, you making it bigger than what it really is. Like, it ain't that. Listen, everybody is coming from, listen. You remember them ice trays? Big Mama and them used to have them aluminum ice trays. Pour some water in it, had that little thing you pull up, and then it break the ice for you. I call families life trays. You're poured into a mold when you're born. That is your attachment style. We have no idea who Mama was, what she been through, who Daddy was, what he been through. We know the piece of what they show us. It's kind of like what cosmologists do when they say, this is the term they use, the observable universe, because they understand they can't see the whole thing. You can't see your whole mama. You can't see your whole father, the observable father, the observable mother, because they're going to shield certain aspects of themselves from you. But that doesn't necessarily mean that what is shielded doesn't have an impact on the developing personality and character of the child in their environment. It is that deep. Walking around knowing your zodiac, but not knowing your attachment style is crazy. It is that deep. And the people who have learned to manipulate to get what they want will marginalize people who come in a sane way and say, who are you? What's your human design? Right? What's your Briggs-Meyer? Right? What's your attachment style? Who are you? Where did you come from? When I come forward, I'm going back to Mountain View, Hawaii. We're going to get it.
Down in the dirt and I finally see blue. Raised hands feel blessed. I ain't worried about the stress. I'm talking about love, real love. You the only thing that get me up from high. Got me so far up that I could fly. Watch me fly. Keep me high in your blue sky.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. 54-year-old producer Irv Gotti has died after suffering a stroke.